Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do a few things around the barn, around the farm today. Got to feed the critters, so we're going to take a look at them. And I got to move my pigs, and if I can, move 3 calves. I got to wean 3 calves. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch them though or not, so we will find out. Conveniently, just coming out to the barn here, and there's one right there, and there's another one behind that cow. Whoop, back there. Boy, if I was ready, that would be very handy, because I could just scoot them right into the barn, but we're not exactly ready for them yet. The sheepies are looking good today. No, I do not have a name for them all. A couple of chickens. This was a decent sized bale last night. They sure went to town on it. Gonna give them a little bit of grain here in this trough. Come on, buddy. Uh-oh, the goats are getting them. Alright, give them a little bit of straw. Grain is always a pain. These goats outside here constantly try to steal all the grains. Hey guys. So there's only so much trough space here, but anyway, they were sharing. Give the cow her grain, and we're going to give her a bale. She was eating off this bale, but now we've got her in there. We're going to be feeding her in that pen. And then I'd like to move the pigs out of that back pen, maybe clean it out today. I don't know if we'll get to that or not, we'll see. Alright, put a bale out here, and we forked it in here, give her bedding, and then she can eat the hay as well. Calves look good. So they are nursing off the cow. She's actually feeding them and giving them enough, but I think today maybe we'll top them up again with a bottle, just to make sure. The cows are looking good, but they're sure doing a number on these bales. Hey girl. They're eating right out of my row now, which we've been letting them. But I'd like to take the remainder of the good bales and fence them off yet. Because they kind of make a mess, right? They trample a lot of it into the ground. Which is not wasted. We'll use it for bedding. Or not for bedding, sorry. We'll like put it on the manure pile and spread it on the land for fertilizer. But I don't want to run out of feed either. Very good. We also got to consider locking these guys up soon, because confining them, I guess, not locking them up, confining them to a specific area, so that this is one of the skinny ones. I don't really like this one. It came as a package deal. It's one of the ones that were definitely on the thinner side. Some of these guys here are real nice, filled out, big girls, and of course Big Red over there's a nice filled out cow, and the one on the end there. So there's lots of good ones, but that one particular one is an old skinny girl that or older skinny girl I don't really care for. Anyway, we like to confine them because maple syrup season's going to start here soon, and I don't want them taking all my buckets off the trees, so we'll be having to put some fencing up somewhere. Hey you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is what happens when your children grow up. You get crammed into the space you don't fit. You get to ride along with the kids. I don't know. In some ways I'm happy. But in other ways, I mean, I don't really fit. I'm 6'3". It's kind of tight in here. We are on the way to the neighbor's. Gonna feed some bales to his horses, tractor, and he's got a garage door that needs fixing. We installed the overhead doors, and anyway, there's some clearance issues in there. I won't film in his barn, but yeah, there's some clearance issues with the door. So the top of the door hits the ceiling above, and that's caused the wire to come off. I don't know if you ever looked at a garage door, but there's a wire on each side, left and right, and that's what lifts the door up when you pull on the chain. And when the door gets stopped and you keep pulling on the chain, then the slack, you get some slack in the cable, and then the cable comes out. So anyway, we're going to try to fix that. Basically, the door was purchased, it was too big for the hole. That's not from us. We did the best to install it in the hole that was there. And yeah, it's got some issues with it. So we're going to see if we can fix that a little bit this morning, and then head back for breakfast. All right, we fixed the door, and then getting feed for the barn. Tractor was running low on fuel, but we figured we had enough. But we didn't. But Started carrying the can now. I'm tired. Gotta go all the way up from the farmers there. Might not look that far, but walking through snow, it's kind of heavy. Anyway, we will put some in there. Hopefully we'll get the tractor going. With a diesel engine, if you're not familiar, you get air in the lines, and they're a real pain to start. So generally with this tractor, I don't have to bleed the lines. The fuel gauge doesn't work on this tractor very well, so that's why we run it once in a while. Anyway, hopefully get it going soon. Alright, so fuel goes in there, or is in there, and then it pumps up through the lines, and it comes to this guy, which is, I don't know if you can see that, he's a mechanical lifter pump. So when I do this, I'm actually pumping fuel. It's sucking it. The other end of this is stuck in the engine, so when you turn the engine over, this will go up and down. You won't see this go up and down, but inside will go up and down. And that pumps fuel into the engine, or to the injector pump, sorry, not to the engine. And then the injector pump, which is back up there, we'll pump it to the injectors, and then you should have fuel. So I can feel that's pumping real good right there. So I will keep going until I can't feel anything anymore, and then Wes will turn the engine over. But as long as there's fuel moving, there. So now I'm doing nothing. It means that it's pressured right up tight. If I wait a little bit, because it takes a long time for it to get through the injectors, if I wait a little while, the fuel actually comes back, the return comes back into the tank. Everything that doesn't get used, so it kind of goes through the system. There's my finger. And whatever gets used in the engine won't come back, of course, but everything that doesn't get used comes back. And so we got to get all the air out of that line. That's the trouble now. We sucked air out of the tank. There's a little bit there again. We'll be playing with this for a while, and I won't film all of it, but that's kind of the idea. Sometimes this can take a long time. What you have to hope for is that the battery doesn't die before we're done, because otherwise we have to go get somebody to boost us too. Alright, it wasn't too bad today. So like I said, with that transfer pump pumping that up and down, that really makes a big difference. And I replaced it last year. I don't think I've run out of fuel since then, but it was real tough. So there's a bladder inside that thing, and it wore out. So we put a new one on. That makes a real big difference in getting fuel through the lines faster. So anyway, we're running again. It only took about 15 minutes today, but we're good again. So we picked up a big load yesterday of 3 skids of granola. Well, just kind of different cereal stuff, I guess, and some more potatoes. So we backed that up. Of course, we're stuck on the ice again. So there we sit for now. And anyway, I'm in the barn here now. I gave one to the sheep. They're not really sure what to make of that. So it comes in big bags. Here, Wes has got one. See how he's hauling that out? I don't know what they use this for, but this was all slated to go to the dump. So they had it for free to anybody that wants to come to the free center and pick some up. And then everything that doesn't go to the free center. Don't put another one in there, bud. They're not even eating this one. They're not sure what to make of that. So anyway, we bring it home for the pigs. But then I thought, it's a little bit of, it's kind of like grain, right? It's a little bit of snack or something. They might like it. I gave one to the cow too, and she didn't know what to make of it either, so I thunked it in here instead. But the sheep are just kind of staring at it. They cleaned up their bale, so we'll dump another one in today, once we get all that mess out of the way. Still working through all these potatoes. I just dumped a whole pile more into the pig pen. The cow likes eating them too, eh? She likes potatoes. So, yeah, and the chickens, they seem to like that granola as well. The goats will, I'm sure. They eat anything. There I dumped a whole bunch of bags of potatoes in the pig pen, so they're eating those. I'm still going to separate the one pig. The one sow is going to farrow here soon, have some babies. So we'll get her separated in there. The joys. It's been really nice and warm the last couple of days. Lots of snow melting and dripping. But we're going to go back down into some pretty cold weather for the next 2 days. We are. It's amazing how well all the animals do in the cold, though. They seem to survive it pretty good. Happy sheepies. Got their new bale and they're loving it. Gave a bunch to the cow too. Judy was just eating hay, but she used to be on this stuff and she likes it better. This is a mix of oats and I think there's a wee bit of sorghum in it. Yeah, you can see some sorghum stalks right there. Sorghum's kind of like corn almost, but with no cob. Anyway, there's oats and sorghum, and I take some peas. It's just baleage. It's made wet, sopping wet. We cut it, bale it, wrap it. Beautiful feed. And as you can tell, they really like it. So does the cow. And we got a gate in there for the pigs. Wes is going to finish that. You can see it's kind of leaning. So the sow is now on that side, and the rest are on the other side. Hopefully she'll have her babies soon. Everybody else is coming up to visit too. This is Mabel. That's Charlie. That's Rusty. He was kind of crusty when he showed up, so we called him Krusty Rusty. So sometimes you'll hear me call him Krusty instead of Rusty. Now, a lot of the other ones don't have names. The new calves, there's 3 little ones. One there, one going there. Looks like everybody's heading down for a drink at the creek. In the eyeballs. You're okay. Look me in the face.
But he's alive.
Yeah, you're alright. Some days, little pony went to a workshop. Up the ramp, right into the door he was led. In the workshop, boxes were stacked and girls were busy packing.